So, what inspired you to choose the charter?
Charter Oak Cultural Center, when I first got to Hartford in 2013, I didn't know anybody and I was trying to build community. And this group is just does such awesome work in terms of social justice and community.
Why did you choose the 5K for 5K?
Well, the 5K for 5K is my way of trying to give back to an organization that I believe in. And, I'm not the most financially flush person, but I have a lot of heart and I have a lot of energy, and I really believe in what they're doing. I was trying to think of a way to give back. And this just kind of materialized from my own lifestyle of running and being healthy and working out. And it just really kind of fit with some of the things that Charter Oak. And then Charter Oak also has the philosophy that art moves the world. So this idea of like art that moves was really inspiring to me, and it's kind of been the sub name of my campaign. I typically, or I often will use the hashtag art that moves, or I'll refer to myself as Team Art That Moves, because it's just this really nice blending of Charter Oak's cultural mission and then also my kind of quest to bring some funding to the organization. Charter Oak kind of revolves around three different um, community groups that they tend to work with. So the actual building that Charter Oak is housed in is the first synagogue in the state of Connecticut. So it's a historical building, and so there's a lot of culture and really spirituality that comes through the building. So Charter Oak, as part of its mission, really serves the Jewish community, and it's a place of both worship and just of inspiration, because in this time now specifically where we think about religion and we think about love and hate and violence and peace and all those things, Charter Oak really represents that, not only to the Jewish community but also to people of other faiths and people who are maybe even less spiritual. The second group that Charter Oak focuses on is the homeless population here in Hartford. So they run Beat of the Street, which is a street paper. It was the first street paper in the state of Connecticut. And they also do this Bots Pots program where they buy these giant planter boxes and they hire some people from the homeless community to plant seeds and to cultivate and to maintain. And anyone in the city can really eat from these pots once the vegetables and the fruits once they grow. And so it's a really great program to add, not just, it's food that's going to help people who don't have food, but it also gives them a lot of sense of pride and makes them, feel like they're contributing, even though they may not have a place to live. Then the third group would be younger, kind of somewhat at-risk kids in Hartford, who maybe would choose to hang out on the streets and, maybe get into some trouble with, drugs and violence and all that kind of stuff. And we do a lot of programming through music and the arts to show these kids a different path. One of the great programs that we just started last year was this thing called Good Vibrations, where we partnered with the Hartford Police, and we got a bunch of police officers to come to Charter Oak and to learn how to play instruments, guitar, with kids that were identified as possibly going to get into some big trouble in their adolescent years. And so they had a group of kids who wrote rap songs and performed rap songs with police officers. They learned how to play guitar together. And so through music, it really brought these two communities together. So those are the three things that Charter Oak does. And they do a lot of cultural programming. You can go see concerts there. You can go see dance performances. You can go see drama performances. And our students are kids who do the orchestra through Charter Oak and take lessons there. They'll do concerts. So it's a really great place just to, if you wanted to experience culture and go see a good show and have a nice night out, it's a great place. And that's what I did, since I've been here in Hartford.
I know you have a passion for social justice, and would you like to talk about that?
I think that that's one of the things that inspired me to join the board at Charter Oak. I mean, it's fun to go and enjoy their cultural programming, but it's another thing when you have an organization that really fights for justice for everyone. There are so many groups um, in society today who are diminished somewhat and forgotten and viewed as being second class, as not mattering. And I think it's really important that we recognize that, whether it's racial minorities, whether it's sexual minorities, whether it's transgendered people, religious minorities, whoever that may be. There is this great need to just embrace the differences between us, and to love one another, and to find a place where we can appreciate everyone on equal footing, and make sure that everyone is safe. Because a lot of these groups, it's not just that we get paid less, which many of us do, but it's also that many of us are physically at risk to violence, and that kind of thing is unacceptable. And I think as society, we need to rise up and stand together and really figure out ways to, um, bridge the differences, and to bridge these big power distances or these big financial distances, so that we're all kind of on a common ground and we all get to live a good, happy life. Because I think that that is our fundamental right, and it's one of our fundamental goals, is to be happy and to flourish. And that's one of the things that Charter Oak really does for a lot of people, and that's really admirable. So it's something that I stand for along with them. Give a last inspiration to people out there to make a donation to the GoFundMe page. You've heard a little bit about what Charter Oak does, and can find out a whole lot more about what it stands for through its webpage. And it's just such a nice gift that I've been given from this organization to be a part of it. And the gifts that it gives the community are really off the charts. And as individuals, all it takes is a little bit here and there, and we can make a big impact in the world. So whether it's $5, $10, $20, $50, all of those little donations add up to a whole lot of change. And so I hope that people, find a way to be able to get involved and to make a difference.